Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of PKM Weekly. So after another pause, we are back again. So hopefully this time we can get some momentum going and go back to some weekly posts. So anyway, let's see what's been in store for us from the past week or so. First up is Obsidian, and if you search for Obsidian, basically you will see everything and anything about it being a second brain. Great for memory, great for AI usage, that basically can read from the files and basically act as a second brain. So what I thought I would do this week is actually show something from Mike. Mike posts some great videos on using Obsidian and other things. And in this one, he's got 5+ years to build the perfect life operating system within Obsidian. So check it out. It's only 25 minutes long or so. And he talks about journaling, personal retreats, multi-skill planning, habit tracking, daily Bible reading, task management, and lots of other things that he uses Obsidian for so that you can create it as your own personal life OS operating system. So well worthwhile checking this great video out by Mike. And on top of that, there was a few interesting Reddit posts that I wanted to go through with you this week. One was working with people who don't use Obsidian. So OP's falling for Obsidian and just basically loving it. And his problem is, how do I make my colleagues who don't use Obsidian, which is too bad for them, and how do you interact with it? How do you share notes? How do you get things across to them? And basically in the 30 comments, you can go through and see what people are suggesting if you are in the same boat. Where did you guys learn to use Obsidian is another one. So I recently got introduced to Obsidian by a friend. Never knew it was so complicated. I'm not so sure it's really complicated. It's basically the simplest app. You open it, you write a note, and off you go. But there's 80 comments explaining what people have done and how they went about learning how to use Obsidian. So if you are in that position, definitely worthwhile checking this one out and seeing what people say. And last one was, I recently saw this from Notion, so it's a Notion database, and how do I recreate something like this within Obsidian? And in fact, it's quite easy to do. Just use the base is. Various different properties, and you can create something very similar to this, although it will be even better because it's all going to be local and it's all going to be your files rather than on Notion server. So well worthwhile, again, having a look at the 101 comments to seeing what people have done if you are in a similar position. So that was that for Obsidian. Thymer, they're plugging away, so there is still no beta app yet, but it's coming soon. And the devs have promised that, so hopefully only a matter of weeks rather than months for it to be released. But in the meantime, they are implementing some cool stuff. So for example, this is a recent post from Wim. It goes through, so you've got the app on the left, that creates a markdown file. He then does various different things within the terminal, and it will update the note and basically updates the markdown file as well. So basically you've got two-way sync with your notes and in Thymer and within your own local file storage. So some great stuff from the Thymer team on that one. I can't wait for the beta to be released so that actually more people can start using the app. Tana, so is this about Tana 1 or Tana 2? It's always going to be about Tana 1. Tana 2 is just not really for me, and for those that are wondering, no, I have never used it, but it just doesn't take my fancy. So I will only be reporting on Tana 1, which is the outliner. And unfortunately though, it's a bit quiet. They are doing some things behind the scenes, I believe, but there's not been much activity within Slack or anything really that's been published online on the Tana outliner of late. So hopefully we can change that. And we can see some more things about Tana being posted in due course. But with the silence of one app comes the noise of another. So this is where Vellum comes in. Vellum, I'm not sure how you say it. But basically Grace and AG, they're looking to create something very similar to Tana, or similar philosophy outline, but with some prose and full form writing as well. But at the same time, everything is going to be local first. So local first and private, single player by design, prose a first class citizen, type data you can query, AI lives in the graph, and everything is connected. So well worthwhile checking out their website so you can get an idea of what the app is looking to become. There is no app yet, so you can't actually test it out, but the devs do say they use it day in, day out themselves. And again, they've also mentioned that it's going to be a matter of weeks rather than months until something is released so that we can test it out. So well worthwhile checking that one out and keeping an update on it, as well as joining their Discord so that you can help shape Vellum, as well as chat with the devs and seeing what they've got to say about it. So some great stuff from Grace and AG on that one. Really looking forward to that. Logseq, the devs are still working away, lots of polishing and fine-tuning going on, as well as Logseq Sync taking shape. But what I did find in the Discord was a Logseq Navigator plugin. So it's very similar to the Obsidian Navigator plugin, if you've come across that one. Basically, you can create a homepage or navigator type style for your notes within Logseq. So a 3-pane note navigator that replaces the unused native left sidebar. Browse your graph by bookmarks, tags, page references, date by grouped, results, pinning, filtering, and previews. So if you want to check out more of that, check out the GitHub link down below, and you can see more about the Logseq Navigator plugin. Capacities, they've been hard at work with MCP and AI connectors, so now they've worked on a version 2 of the MCP and AI chat. Much more powerful, you can create, update, and append objects. It doesn't allow you to do everything within Capacities, as they say themselves. It's limited to searching, working with single objects, so that means you cannot retrieve all objects of a type or browse your queries or task lists, but they do say they will extend it over time, so that hopefully they can add in much more functionality to it. And on top of that, they also resolved 93 improvements, bugs, and small feature requests. So do check out the video, because Beth does talk through how you can use the new MCP connector and AI chat and get some ideas from it. Craft, they've got some exciting news. So I think it was posted today or yesterday. Basically, it's now a fully independent team-owned company, so it's no longer backed by external investors. And what that basically means is everything stays the same, but it's just going to be a lot more hands-on with the team being behind it. Nothing's really going to change in terms of your notes and your subscriptions and your craft experience, and neither are there plans for craft, so that's going to stay the same. And if anything, there's going to be a little bit more refining the experience, improving performance, and making craft better every day. So lots of stuff to look forward to on that one, and well done to the craft team. Appflowy, this is an app that I like talking about because the devs are doing something really cool, and it's always nice just to see what they're pushing out. So version 0.12.5 has been released. A few updates, redesigned tab management, the block level comments in database row pages, and Kanban board column coloring. And on top of that, they've got a good few things coming up as well. Database row page can be mentioned, revamped database, space level granular permissions, and database version history. So some cool stuff coming to Appflowy on top of the great stuff that they've already implemented. Griply, they've released a huge update for iOS, so goal roadmap, lock screen widget, smart lists, and a number of other things which I won't go through because you've got the full list here. So it's the biggest iOS update yet, and you can see the full list of what's been improved and the new features that they've implemented within Griply, and as well as see the other updates that they've implemented in the desktop. So some great stuff from the Griply team on that one, so do definitely check that out if you haven't already. And then the last one is Verso notes. So in my spare time, what I've been doing is playing around with Claude to try and come up with an app that I like. So taking a little bit of things here and there and everywhere, and trying to come up with a solution that allows for plain markdown files. I realized that after using various different apps, I like the markdown files. I like being able to see it on my system. I like being able to open it without having to export, do the markdown mirror, etc. I like the full form writing as well as outlining. So I realize you can do that in Obsidian with various different plugins, but I'd like to do it at the app level. Built-in calendar and scrolling journal dates. The Logseq way of implementing it was great. Folders, so for those that want to use this, they can. Images are saved in place. To-dos, without again needing 10 plugins, and PDF annotation built in. So if you want to learn more, check out the GitHub. If not, what I'll do is a quick demo of what it looks like here. So it's still a bit of a prototype, but a working process. So you can see here, plain markdown files, and what we can do is we can reveal in Finder. And let me just open this one here, so you can see it is in plain markdown, so that just replicates that. And we can do and that's it, add it there, so it's in markdown and you can see it live. That was a test live, I've never done that before, so I'm glad that worked. And what you have, you've got libraries, people, films, you can do the bases, so similar to what you can see in Obsidian. You can have a book, you can edit it, you can see what you want to add and remove as you wish. You can then download it to CSV. You can delete this base if you want, you can change it, you can group it. You can see the gallery view as well, and a board view, which I still need to do a little bit of work on it, but that's coming soon. Same with people, films, same sort of thing, and then the daily notes, just to see what you've been up to in the past. You've got folders, you've got various different things similar to what you've got in other apps, properties on the right, calendar view, the image if there is any, so it'll pick up if there's any cover images, and it'll put them in as a property. And then what we can also do is PDF highlighting. So in this one, it's just an example one, but basically what we've got is the PDF on the side, and we can jump around at the various different highlights that we've done, if I do it properly. So, and then you can do that. So you can jump around the various different highlights. You can add some new ones if you want, and that will just add that. And then you can add that, so that will just carry on, zoom in, zoom out, the usual stuff that you can do. To-dos, these come in from the daily notes, so you can see some were overdue, when they were due, what's the date, due today, Sunday, Monday, blah, 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 so they're grouped by dates of when you need to do them. Journal pages is a long list of journal pages, similar to what Logseq did, because I just think this is great, so well done to Logseq for implementing this. And what we've also got is on this day, because I think this is great, so I need to play around with this one a little bit, but basically what was going on this date in the past X number of years, or for whenever you've got the notes. A little bit of a graph view, which you need to play around with, so let's not worry too much about that one. Super tags type thing, so we can see we can create a note, tag it book. In fact, let's just try that now. Do it properly. We'll highlight that. We'll call it a book, and then we can add whatever it is that we want, and that's then going to go in to our base somewhere, and we can then keep adding to it. So that's the type of thing that I've been working on. So my plan is to eventually open source the bad boy, so that everyone can make use of it if they want to, and add any comments or any suggestions that they have. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next week, and have a great week. Thanks very much. Bye.